guys, it's Larry with Handheld Rehab. Got a iPad Mini 2 here today, and thought this would be a pretty interesting one to make a video on. I've not had any videos going up in quite a while. Just been too busy really to record, and I can't do mine live, so I have to edit them and upload them manually. So anyway, this iPad, as you can see right now, it works fine, but whenever I got it, it actually came to me as not having a display, or actually it came to me for no backlight. When I got it, I saw it had no image, and I started troubleshooting it and took it apart, done a couple measurements, couldn't find anything wrong with it, put it back together, and all of a sudden I had a display. So I started reassembling it, and then I started checking the touch, and I didn't have touch on it. So upon doing some testing on it, I realized that the 5B25 line was missing, and that comes straight from the PMIC. So it looked like the PMIC was defective on the unit, but I was able to inject 5 volts to that line and get touch working again. So, and as you can see, whenever I disable my DC power supply, that's what I just did. I don't have touch, and if I enable it again, then I get touch back. So that's all fine and dandy, but it doesn't do the customer any good if we have to have it hooked to a DC power supply in order to use it. So what we're going to attempt to do here is use a boost converter. It's actually a I guess it's pronounced Murata boost converter, and what it does is it takes various voltages and it outputs a stable 5 volts. And so by testing my DC power supply, I see this line, even though it calls for 5.25, the schematic shows that it can be between 5 and 6 volts, and this boost converter here actually has a stable output of right at 5.5 volts. You can take an inputting voltage to the boost converter can be 2.7 to 5.5 volts, and you have to have an enable line, and the enable line can be 1.4 to 5.5 volts. And so this looks like a pretty good. It's a small boost converter that should fit nicely inside the iPad. Show you guys what it looks like. I think it was 4 millimeters by 4 millimeters by 2 millimeters. And so this is what the boost converter looks like. It's a DC to DC boost converter. And so I picked up a couple of them. I thought that I might use one again in the future. And they also make a version, a 6 volt version. This is a 5 volt version. And there were some other boost converters that were a little bit larger that actually had a 5.5 output. This is a, like I said, a Murata LXDC 44A series micro DC to DC boost converter. So what we're going to do, cut the DC power supply off, and disassemble this thing. And get right to work. Now I've already got one. As you can see, a while ago there's a lot of contact pads on the back of that boost converter, so I've already got one that I've ran some wires to get to the correct places, and I might as well go ahead and let my cat out because he's going to drive me crazy. So hang on just a second. The joy of having animals. So I've got my DC power supply just jumped to this capacitor here, which is on the output line of the 5.25 volt line for touch. So we'll disconnect that. And I put a little piece of two-sided tape on my boost converter to kind of hold it in place. Whenever I get everything done, I'll probably go back and put some solder mask or something on it. Let's see which way I want to put this thing on the board. On the back here, this is ground. This is, let's see, so we've got pin 3 is ground, which is this one. Pin 5 is our output, which is this one. Pin 10 is our enable line, which is this one. And pin 1 is our input. So we're going to be using the input. We're going to be using VCC main as the input because it's going to be varying between 3.7 to 4.2 volts. So I think what I'm going to do is put this right here. As you can see, it fits pretty nicely. It should allow for the cover and everything to go on. And this is our ground. And there's a capacitor right here, so we can actually hook onto VCC main here, and we'll ground the other side to the other side of the capacitor. Our output we're going to run up to this cap here, and then our enable line, there's actually a resistor down here that goes to LCM enable, so we're going to run that down there. So my wires, I left them long. I was actually playing with it on the DC power supply to make sure it worked the way it was supposed to. So this is our ground. And PM1 is the input. Okay, where's my flux? Easier to work with when I get rid of some of this excess wire. And I had some help with this. I mean, I kind of had some ideas of what I wanted to do to get it working, but Ben Duffy and Chris Long both gave me some good ideas and kind of assisted me a little bit with what I needed to do. So, great help in the community there. I appreciate that. So that was our ground. This is our enable line, and so I'm just going to run it right off this same cap. Actually, I think all three of these are VCC main. Actually, I think both of those right there are the positive side of those capacitors. So I'm just going to put it right in between those two. Gotta melt the insulation off that wire. Hard to do with this small iron. So it doesn't matter that those are bridged, so I'm going to leave that like that. I broke my damn wire off. Shit. Alright, so this is pin 5, which goes to our output. I mean, this is really the only option for this iPad. I mean, you could replace the PMIC. But the PMICs for these things are, last time I checked, they were like, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks. And it's kind of, I tried to change one time before, and I must say this, it wasn't easy. I didn't succeed. So that was the reason another reason I chose to go this route. And if this don't work, I still have the option to try to replace the PMIC. Alright, now I put a wire back. I ripped the other one off. This is probably going to be the most aggravating one to run. Because it's really tied up close to the frame. I got pulled away again, so we've got that wire on there for the enable line. We need to pull it up through here too, thread it up through here. Get in there. I don't know about this two-sided tape. I don't think that's going to work. Probably just going to have to put it down with solder mask. Alright, so this resistor up under here, you guys probably can't see anything. I'm done. How did my camera get all screwed up here? Alright, there is a resistor right here. And this pad here is where we want to solder that to. Get some solder on there. Actually not. Alright. Oh, there's a piece of dirt in there. I thought that was my resistor over there. Let's go ahead and cut this. Okay. So that should give us 5 volts over that line and let touch work. So let's see if that works. That should be good enough for testing anyway. So let's see what we get. My little cat's running around down here, playing in my stuff. That's what we wanted to see. Now, I was noticing earlier this damn message keeps popping up. I'm not really sure why. It pops up and it goes away, and you can't even click on it. I'm not sure what the story is with that. I'll try to update it and see if maybe that don't make that go away. But anyway, that does have our touch problem fixed. What I will do is probably remove that two-sided tape that I put on there, and set it all the way down on the board, and then put some of the solder mask on it, let the solder mask hold it in place, and cover my connections up so that nothing shorts out on it. And the next person to open this thing will probably really be confused. So anyways, sorry about the interruptions during the video, but hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks. Alright guys, so thought I'd show what this thing looked like whenever I got completely done with it. I'm getting ready to close it up. The way I decided to mount the boost converter, I got some B7000, mounted it with B7000, so it's really firm. And this stuff's got a little bit of like a silicone base to it also, so it's slightly rubbery, so to kind of let it, it'll stay connected but still have a little bit of, you know, vibration resistance. My wires, I kind of just put a little dab of B7000 on those also. I put solder mask on the top. It's actually the back side of the this boost converter here. So anyways, just thought I'd follow up with how I ended up finishing it up. So getting ready to button it up. So thanks for watching.